So if he get 10 from the new team, then the Bucks only own 12, not the whole 22.
Right.
22-5. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why it makes a ton of flexibility there.
But that's a bold move. That's the longest stretch, wave and stretch that we've seen.
Especially
but that just tells you the
superstar.
mindset of an organization and what they think. Okay? Seriously.
Or whoever is pressuring them to be relevant, aka Giannis. Think about everything they just spoke about. The preparation, the rehabbing, the mentally preparing to get back to perform at a high level just for the regular season. But Giannis, in his world, the way he's been performing, his mindset is NBA Finals. Dame, after this injury, is nowhere near that. And after peeling back the layers, you could kind of see why Giannis, at the end of the day, said, hey, Dame, we gonna give you your money, but you got to figure this out somewhere else. Again, the real Giannis is the player that kind of acted out in the playoffs last year after the game where he grabbed Matherin's head and he had that back and forth with Tyrese Halliburton's father. That's the real Giannis. The nice guy persona, the little international, oh, I'm not sure, oh, I'm in a new country, the little nice guy act that he puts on, that's just PR.
Because they thought it was good. How many people, come on, when you said Dame going to Milwaukee, first thoughts was what?
I was loving that.
Oh.
I was loving it because he was going to play with Giannis. I was loving it.
But I didn't see, P, and you were there.
Because I always thought he needed help.
But I didn't see any real coordination between them in a two-man game. Offside, pin downs between the two, movement. It was either Giannis had it or Dame had it.
Facts. Jim Jackson, again, he's cooking. He's forcing the truth out. These two never really looked like a 1-2 tandem. It looked like your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. Again, with Dame, he has to have the ball in his hand. He's a great player. But for most of his career, he's actually been a one-way guy. Doesn't necessarily play defense, not a really catch and shoot guy, and is also not a player that necessarily does something great outside of scoring. It's not like he's getting a ton of assists for his teammates like Tyrese Halliburton. For most of his career, he's been out there in Portland where he's had the green light to shoot an unlimited amount of shots, and he's played in the same your turn, my turn basketball with CJ McCollum.
And how do you really exploit that and utilize that if you don't use them the right way to really force the defense in these precarious situations where you got to guard both of them at the same time? And I think that was a big flaw in why a lot of the success with Milwaukee was fleeting, because I don't think those two really offensively.
And even with Dame being healthy, they were already operating in very thin margins in order to get to the finals or even possibly win a championship. Very thin margins. With him injured, it makes sense why they just said, hey, fuck it, this shit's done.
Leading, because I don't think those two really offensively.
I'm a Drew Holiday loyalist, so I
bro,
thought
I
it
love
was.
Drew,
I
man.
thought it was. They wanted offense.
What
It
you
was
think,
weird.
You think Giannis wanted something to do with that?
Once again, Jim Jackson is cooking. What is he alluding right here? There's only one factor that remains constant, is Giannis. Drew was his wingman. They won a championship together. Then they had a couple playoff series where they needed shot making, and after yet another elimination, Drew Holiday got shipped out. And as we could see, he was still an effective player because he went on to play for the Celtics and they won a championship. So who's the one constant that still remains in the picture?
I'm a Drew Holiday loyalist, so
I love Drew,
I
man.
thought it was. They wanted offense.
What
It
you
was
think,
weird.
You think Giannis wanted something to do with that?
I don't think so.
You notice the awkward laughs? Let's listen to that again, because we're getting a sneak peek to what the players in their circles really talk about behind the scenes. And the narrative is growing louder and louder. That Giannis, he will snake you if he has to.
I'm a Drew Holiday loyalist, so
I love Drew,
I
man.
thought it was. They wanted offense.
What
It
you
was
think,
weird.
You think Giannis wanted something to do with that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. After
I
you
don't
just
think so,
win it.
man. Yeah,
you
that's
just
what
win it.
But Giannis, he said he was upset.
Yeah.
He knew about it. He wanted Dame. Hey, I'm just saying.
Well, man, you.
Notice again, notice the laughs. Notice the laughs. They don't want to say it on camera. This is where this player podcast landscape gets tricky. Guys don't want to reveal too much. They just want to give the audience just enough. But from time to time, you can see the real sentiments from behind the scenes leak out.
You can still be upset, and
He
like you
wanted
said,
Dame.
it depends on that conversation. If he knew, maybe he did go to bat for Drew. But at the end of the day, it's not his call. I mean, as much as you want to say Giannis runs the organization, those owners are going to do what they want to do. They might come ask you for your opinion, but that doesn't mean they're going to roll with you. Like, no,
Well,
I want.
it depends. It depends, bro. It
Yeah,
really
they gonna
does.
say yes to
Now, and
Especially in
again,
a small market
in a small
like that.
market,
Yeah,
because
'cause-
you're not gonna get free agents. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying that Giannis did it. I'm not saying that, but I think in that playoff series when they lost and they couldn't find offense, that was a big reason why Drew ended up being traded. But
Mhm.
you go into your star player, whether you want to make the decision or not. And he gonna have to voice an opinion one way or another.
Get
on
him
what he
out.
wants.
And Giannis has had the voice and opinions out there in Milwaukee for a good minute. Keep in mind, when they traded for Dame, the previous owner was trying to sell, and the narrative was Giannis was not going to sign the extension. And when it comes to owners trying to sell franchises, your superstar has a nice piece of chunk change as to why the team is worth a certain price. So to please Giannis, they traded for Dame, and then we saw the owner instantly sell. Instantly sell. Keep that in mind. Because they traded multiple first-round picks for Drew. They traded 3 of them. So just getting rid of Drew for Dame and giving away more picks, we see why the Bucks don't really have any draft capital until 2031. For the most part, they have been in unison with Giannis, and he is not going anywhere. He is their cash cow. Make no mistake about that. But hey, it is what it is. We're getting more of the reality of the business side of the game. With the influx of money coming into the league with their brand new TV deal, not only the pressure is on for teams to be successful and get to a championship level, the pressure is also on for them to be successful financially, to have a lucrative enough team to bring fans in, to spend the dollars, to keep the net worth of these teams at the same price point. The new owners, the same group that own the Cleveland Browns, they bought the Bucks for $4 billion. And there is expectation to not only keep up the valuation, but to supersede it. And that definitely starts with having a superstar in Giannis. You guys definitely hit up the link in the description below. We got more NBA stories. Check out the playlist. We got some nice game films on different dynamics that are happening on the court. It's also a combination of those NBA stories. And until next time, you fellas stay safe. Peace.